Hello and how's it going, everyone? It is Skullzi here with the latest Bethesda news, rumors, and speculation, and I have yet even more Starfield 2021 release date evidence for you all today. I feel like the last 3 days, every one of my titles has been like a different variation, Rick Sanchez clone of one another, even though this is all still very relevant and literally based on new trending discoveries and information. And in today's video, I have yet another big piece of Bethesda news that further confirms something weird is either going on within Bethesda Game Studios or Starfield is almost finished. And judging by all the other rhetorical evidence, it seems a lot more likely that Starfield is almost finished rather than something strange is going on within Bethesda Game Studios, some kind of strange Daedric ritual. But on top of all this and this new discovery, there's even more evidence based on community investigations and investigations of my own that further support yesterday's video confirming that this new Starfield 2021 copyright year is more definite confirmation than perhaps the most concrete confirmation of a Starfield 2021 release date yet. So yes, we are talking about more evidence in regards to a Starfield 2021 release date in today's video. This isn't me talking about the same thing over and over again. This is actual new information. I see the comments are leaving. Cliff racers continuously overdosing on skooma have been sent to your location. But let's not waste any more time and get to today's content. And I'm gonna start today's video off with something that literally just happened within like the last hour of me recording this video. I actually recorded something and had to scrap that file and throw it into a volcano that destroyed Morrowind or something in order to re-record and add this information to it, but that's fine because my last recording was horrible because I was rambling on and now I'm rambling on again, oh my god. But let's activate Karashi Epic! But as I've been talking about in like the last few videos, over the course of the last month or so, about 5 developers have left Bethesda Game Studios, and some of these developers have worked at Bethesda Game Studios for as long as 10 to 15 years, which is crazy, right? And as I talked about previously, with all these long-time Bethesda Game Studios veteran developers leaving around the same time, that's more indicative of a project being finished rather than all these developers decided to leave because of something happening or because they wanted to go do other things. If you are a loyal person or if you want to leave a company on good terms, you're probably going to leave when your job, or at least the majority of your job regarding a project, is finished. And we've had veteran animators of Bethesda Game Studios, artists, and all these different skill sets leave Bethesda Game Studios within the last month or so. And now we have someone who's worked at BGS for about 12 years leaving as well. And this is Mark Tier, who is a senior VFX artist and DLC art lead at BGS as well. They worked at the main BGS studio location in Rockville, Maryland, meaning the studio that works on Starfield and Test 6, and you can see on their LinkedIn profile, they worked at BGS for 12 years, and now they're leaving. They're like the 6th or 7th person who has left BGS within the last month, and about the 3rd one who has over 10 years experience at Bethesda Game Studios leaving as well. Normally, if it was just like 1 or 2 developers, I would say, well, maybe something happened in Bethesda that they didn't agree with, or maybe something happened with the Microsoft acquisition they didn't agree with, but literally every developer at Bethesda from all the different studios says this is a good thing, and a lot of them have gotten bonuses as well, so I doubt they're going to leave because of that. And Bethesda, and especially Bethesda Game Studios, has been close with Microsoft for a long time now, so the Microsoft acquisition isn't changing any kind of like ecosystem within a working environment anyway. So that leads on to something I already talked about, which is if all of them are leaving at the same time, and there's no ill will here, they're probably going to leave around when their specific job or workload for a project is finished. And if all these different people are leaving, artists and programmers and etc. are leaving all around the same time, and they have all been at BGS for over 10 years, that leads me to believe that Starfield has to definitely be finished right now, and basically in the finishing up stages, the finalization stages, just wrapping up and getting rid of all those Bethesda Game Studios bugs, or leaving just enough in there for the memes, hopefully not. I don't know how I feel about that. But it's nuts. This is... If Starfield isn't done and all these developers aren't leaving because of that, then why are they leaving? Did something happen? Did Microsoft send too many orcs into the BGS office to whip them and eat all of their horses and tell them make game good now or Todd mad? No, it seems far more likely and less flattener and conspiracy theorist to assume Starfield is finished, and that's why all these different developers, some of which were hired on the contractual basis just for Starfield, and some of which have been with BGS for over 10 years, it makes a lot more sense for them to be leaving because Starfield is finished. They're probably ready to go on to the next phase of their development adventure, and they don't want to just leave Bethesda high and dry and leave a project unfinished, because I know someone, even as I'm a creative myself, and I'm someone that doesn't like to leave projects unfinished. It's like leaving a ongoing process in your head that's just going to have a runtime going forever and driving you nuts because of Ring of Fire, ADHD, and Asperger's. Oh man, my life is complicated. But that's basically going to finish up this portion that I want to talk about in today's video. This is super hype. This this is crazy that all these developers are leaving and moving on to the next thing, but like I said, this is even more solid evidence that Starfield has to be coming soon, and the rest of today's video is going to be based upon that as well. Go away, glasses! Get off my face! And as I talked about in yesterday's video, Timmer discovered the copyright year for Starfield was literally just put up on the ZeniMax website, and the copyright year is 2021. And as I talked about in yesterday's video, I showed you how Bethesda Game Studios, basically every one of their previous projects, had a copyright year that was also the year of release. And even when you take a game and combine it with other DLC and make a DLC package, the year that DLC package came out is also the copyright year too. So there's so much evidence supporting the fact that the 2021 Starfield copyright year, which is now visible on the ZeniMax legal website, is perhaps the most concrete evidence of a 2021 Starfield release date. However, that's not always the case. If a game is delayed or has some kind of issues, the copyright year could be a year or two behind the year of release, but this has never really been the case for Bethesda Game Studios. However, the anomaly is still COVID, so COVID could still mess up the timeline even now and push it to 2022. However, I have even more supportive evidence that that's not going to be the case. Now, first of all, there's been a lot of people saying that Starfield has been on the ZeniMax website for a while now, and that's not the case, because if we use the Wayback Machine and look up previous archived websites before changes were made, we can actually check out the ZeniMax website, the same exact website that Starfield is listed on with its copyright year back in February of 2021. And as of February of 2021, this is something you can look up yourself using the Wayback Time Magical Machine. Starfield was not listed here at all, meaning Starfield as of February 2021 did not receive a copyright year yet. However, as of March 11th, it did. So about a month ago, just over a month ago, Starfield received its copyright year, which is 2021. So if it just received this information all of a sudden, that's almost indicative of itself of something ongoing behind the scenes regarding Starfield happening soon, meaning a marketing campaign, or more specifically what is more closely linked to the copyright year is the release date. And if we actually look up copyright law and stuff ourselves, we can find even more information on this. Reactivate Kuroshi! If you go to copyrightlaws.com and you go down here, first of all, thank you Games News Follower for the screenshot, and we read what it says here, which says the words and the letters all say the things that are about to happen. Which year should you use in your copyright notice? The general rule is that the year to include in a copyright notice is the year of first publication of work. And first publication is not when you file a trademark or announce your project to the world. First publication is actually when the work is made available to the public without restriction, meaning this includes selling a book or leaving free copies in a public place for people to pick up, or posting your paid or subscribe to content on a blog. Now, I added the paid or subscribe to thing into the statement here because they really shouldn't have said posting your content on a blog. They should have just stuck with what they said previously, because that's kind of convoluted and confusing. But basically, the TL doctor of this is that the copyright year you assign your product should be the year it's available for purchase, or the year you just give it away for free. And this is a very, very followed and standardized practice in copyright, trademark, and intellectual property law. And I reached out to a couple other IP attorneys and stuff, or on just random websites where you can just ask them free questions, and they did agree that the copyright year is almost always the year a product is released, or at least the targeted year. So yes, this is even more confirmable and concrete evidence that the copyright year should be the year of release, meaning that Starfield should come out in 2021 based upon its actual assigned copyright year. But don't keep misquoting me, everybody. You just cherry pick my words and shove them up your ass so that trees can grow out of your mouth and produce clickbait fruit for people to pick because you're a weird... Wow, that's a strange fetish. What's your problem, dude? But don't cherry pick my words. Take my entire statement. Yes, 90% of the time, and based on general accepted industry standardized practices, the copyright year is the year of release. However, if delays happen, that's not always the case. There's been a whole crap ton of delays going down because COVID is a big old dick, just messing everything up and screwing everything. And yes, COVID is still affecting many industries. I wouldn't be surprised if BGS was still working from home to some capacity right now. But with all this considered and your speculation salt in your pocket by your side, this is still the most concrete evidence, with now even more supportive evidence of a 2021 Starfield release date, because we have all these developers leaving with all these different skill sets who have been at BGS for like over 10 years, and now we have this copyright information. And this copyright information alone definitely solidifies 2021 as the most statistical possible release date for Starfield. You can still be Team 2022, still be Team 2023, but to say statistically that Starfield would not have the highest percentage chance of releasing this year would now literally be incorrect. If you say Starfield's highest percentage year of a release date is not 2021, you are literally wrong. Just based upon everything I've proven in this video, based upon actual statements from IP attorneys and experts, and based upon standard industry practices based on copyright year. And that's not even considering all the other rhetorical information like all these developers leaving and everything else. But that's going to finish up today's video. As always, if you enjoy the content and if you're hyped for Starfield, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss the latest news. And huge shout out and much appreciation to these amazing people for going above and beyond to support the channel and bring you content like this. If you want to get a permanent feature video shout out on every single one of my videos from this point forward, you can support the channel over on Ko-fi, Patreon, or here on YouTube as an exclusive channel member. You'll become a Skullzi Discord server VIP and get a bunch of other exclusive awards and access to behind the scenes stuff. Links for all this and more are down in the description below, and as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time when being one day closer to Starfield means we're also one day closer to the Elder Scrolls 6 at the same time.
It just works.